Hello, little cuties, and welcome to my channel, Fixin' to Hillbilly. Today, we are making breakfast for dinner. Now, my name's Melinda, and let's get started. Now, first of all, I'm going to start off with my biscuits because that's what takes longer to get done. Now, as you see here, I have a container that's full of nothing but bacon grease, and I set it in the refrigerator. Some people have a debate. You list below what you do. Do you put it in the refrigerator or you set it on the counter? Now, I have done both. My granny always left it sitting on the counter. None of us ever died from it, so I don't, I don't really have a preference. I just set mine in the refrigerator so it doesn't get spilled. Now, this is the only flour that I use. It's called Hudson Cream Self-Rising Flour. There is other flours out there on the market that I'm sure are just fabulous, but I think that this is my choice out of all the ones that I've used. Now this container here, I got from Walmart a couple years back, and I just love it because I can pour a whole 5-pound bag of flour in there, or 5-pound bag of sugar, and it seals, and I just set it in my cabinet. Now you see me just adding milk. Now you see that that's just regular milk. You can make them that way, and that's just fine. But what you didn't see is I add a little bit of white vinegar to my milk, and that makes buttermilk, okay? Just a teaspoon. If you can taste the vinegar in the milk, you put too much in there. And that's a key to go by. But I just put a teaspoon in whatever I'm using, and that's usually more than enough. Sometimes a half a teaspoon. Just depends how many biscuits I'm making. Now this was just a little bit too runny for me, so what I decided to do is go back and add a little bit of extra flour. And that's just going to thicken it up. Now I used to put them on a board and pat them out, make little circles, and put them on a pan and all that. I don't do that anymore. You know, as you get older, whatever's quicker is better. And then you're just going to keep stirring that. And remember, it's still going to be sticky when you go to drop them in the pan. Now, this is my pan. I always cook my biscuits in an iron skillet. It does make a difference. And then I just spoon it out. Now, this is a small pan. I just make about 4 big biscuits. And honestly, we can only eat one apiece because they're so big. And then the next morning, you have a couple left over for sausage and cheese on it, or eggs, or whatever kind of biscuit you want to do to send your man off to work. Much easier. Okay. Now you just drop them in there. Now, like I said, I only make 4 in this. I have made 5 biscuits in this pan, but they're smaller. I'd rather just make 4 big biscuits, and then that's more than enough for us. My granny always said, if you've got good bread, everybody gets full. So that's the star of the show normally, is your biscuits. Okay, so after I get done, what I do is I go back and I put bacon grease on top of my biscuits. Now what this is going to do, this is going to give your biscuits like a salty bite. It does make a difference. It's got really good flavor, but honestly, it is the bacon grease that makes a difference. Now, when you get all of them covered, you're just going to pop them in the oven at 400 degrees. You're going to let them cook for 20 minutes. You're going to turn that off, and then you're going to turn them back on, broil for a very few minutes. You're going to stand there. You're not going to leave them. Now, when my biscuits come out, I add butter to the top of mine. Because, you can never have too much butter in bacon grease. I actually heard a lady on a channel the other day. It said she wasn't sure where she was going to be throwing her bacon grease, because back home she threw it either in the yard or in the trash. And I first of all felt like I was going to pass out, because I never heard of somebody throwing bacon grease away. I mean, if you're Southern and you're Appalachian, you don't do that. So yeah. But it was kind of cute though, because she's not used to cooking like that, and honestly, she is the sweetest person. I just love watching her channel. But I really felt like I was getting lightheaded when I heard her say that she didn't know where she was going to throw her bacon grease, either in the yard or in the trash. Or I was like, oh my word. Okay, now here, as you can see, the biscuits are fluffy. They're brown on the bottom from cooking it at 400. The tops are brown, But as you can see, the texture's nice. So they're not hard biscuits, they're fluffy, and you have really good biscuits for breakfast. Now, I had a small breakfast for dinner because this particular day I was not feeling it. I was not feeling good at all. So I actually did some sausage that I actually used for my sausage biscuits. It's just Walmart sausage. It's great value sausage patties. It's real good. So I did that, and I scrambled some eggs and put some cheese on them, and then a biscuit on the side. Normally I'd fix gravy or something for him, but I just was not feeling too good that day. So there you go. There's your breakfast for dinner. I want to thank y'all for being here with me today. And remember, you were born to do great things. So stay strong in the Lord, never give up hope, and always take time to pray. It's important. All right, that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Bye.